Cutie Pies, and welcome to another episode of My Slice of Life. I'm your host, Madison Bellissimo, and I am solo today with a gorgeous, gorgeous cup. Well, first of all, let's admire this perfect My Slice of Life mug that Veronica made me once again. But I made the most decadent, delicious hot cocoa. And I know that a lot of my whole shtick is like making things from scratch and making things yourself, but no one does it quite like Williams-Sonoma when it comes to hot cocoa. And please, if you have a better one, send it my way. I love hot cocoa. It is one of my favorite drinks. And I know I'm a matcha girl and through and through, but like hot cocoa, like walked so matcha could run. You know what I'm saying? Like a really warm, delicious, milky beverage. And I truly love hot cocoa so much. And specifically, the Williams-Sonoma brand one is the best. So I made that for myself in my cozy, sweet cottage recording studio. And I'm so excited you're here. Thanks for listening and thanks for watching. I'm going to take a sip really quick. Yeah. Even got the whipped cream mustache situation going. That was insane. It's going to be hard to put this down, but I'm going to take breaks and take sips because you just need a warm bevy. You need a bevy. I'm a bevy girl at the end of the day. And you just need a warm bevy when you're going to have a comfy, cozy conversation like this. So I'm monologuing a bit because it is a solo episode. I apologize. But that's what we're here for. We're on the cozy side of the internet. This is my comfort podcast that I am putting out and trying to welcome you into the vibes, into the just delectable warmth of enjoying life and making it nice and giving yourself things that bring you joy, spark joy. And another thing that is truly a place that I feel like curates that vibe so, so well is Substack. And I've talked about Substack. This is not an ad. I wish it was. Please someone call me at Substack because genuinely I feel like it's the only piece or like corner of the internet that is still wholesome and still like, I guess, untainted. Like that's my opinion of it. Also, maybe that's just my algorithm on Substack, but I think it's just a huge community of people that want to write op-eds, that write poetry, that write articles, talk about their favorite things, ask research, have fun. Like it is just such a beautiful platform in social media. And I've fallen in love with it. I've been in love with it for months now. And I just keep coming back to it. And I realized over my season 1 to season 2 break that it was something that I really wanted to prioritize bringing into the conversation on My Slice of Life. I've had past people come on and bring a Substack. My friend, she came on and she had brought up a Substack article that we were talking about. And that's Tez. If anyone doesn't know which episode, please go listen to it. It's so good. And she had talked about like her version of engaging in social media, specifically on Substack. And again, I just realized I think I want to bring it into My Slice of Life as much as possible and just make it an integral part. Maybe not every single episode, but like most episodes, if I can find an article that resonates with me, with my guest, something that we can talk about, I would like to promote it as much as possible because I genuinely love it and I want it to keep going and I want it to keep its sanctity, so to speak. So I found an incredible article, which again was posted in 2025. This is almost a year old at this point. The author is Jenna O'Brien. Shout out to her. I don't know her. This is my first time stumbling upon her page. It's called Feeling! Magazine. And that's her Substack. She seems lovely. I'm like, we should be friends. Again, don't know this person, don't know anything about her other than her writing now that I've been introduced to it. And I've read a couple of her articles now, but this one is so fun. And this one's called Advice for Making Life More Whimsical and Joyful. And that's really just been the vibe. with like no other explanation, then that's what I've been trying to focus on more and more lately. And just making my life like, we only have one life. I'm already such a romantic sap, and people know this about me. I get very, very emotionally moved by just like life, like the art of living, so to speak. And I think that's why slice of life content has always been the root of my like favorite projects and favorite music, movies, again, video games. I always bring up video games and I feel like people don't believe that I actually like video games. But I've been on such an insane Stardew kick lately, and I know I'm late to the party. I used to play Animal Crossing when I was a kid. Loved it. Loved it. Playing Stardew now, it's the best thing that I've ever. I'm like, I want to garden and tend to my farm animals every day. It's so lovely. It's so relaxing. I could go on. I'm sorry. I'm going on a tangent a bit. But all of that to say, this article hit me because I was like, first of all, it's a punchy, fun title. Advice for making life more whimsical and joyful. Okay, I'm sad. I want to listen. I want to read. But I'm also like, I read it. And sometimes you read these lists. And trust me, I'm trying to make lists more like this too. So that's something that I'm trying to dip into and kind of see what works and what resonates with people. And honestly, my most played episode is my 30 chic things for turning 30. And that was such a fun episode for me to make and develop. And so I'm trying to find more forms of that kind of content to make. So Substack, I feel like, would be a really appropriate place for me to do that. Wink, wink, nod, nod. We'll get to that. But this one was just so fun because as I read it, there was not one that I was like, every single one of her 20 points, I was like, yup, it's 20 ideas for making things a little lighter and a little more magical. And again, I was like, okay, bet, let me see if you got the chops. Jenna O'Brien, I'm sorry I ever doubted you before knowing you. I read this and I'm like, I trust you with my life. Like, truly, it's so dramatic. But genuinely, I'm like, I really vibe with her. I think she's incredible, and I'm very excited to keep reading some of her materials. But without further ado, I'm just going to go steamroll through it. I'm not taking credit at all for this list. This is hers. This is from Feeling Magazine, again, on Substack. But it resonated with me, and it made me feel joyful, and it like brought back the things that I've been like, some things I was like, like the Once Upon a Mattress theme where he's like pointing at the television. I'm like, I'm doing that. I'm trying to do that. And it was just really fun to see someone else that's doing that and incorporating that into their lifestyle. And I was like, okay, I'm on the right track of if I feel like this is whimsical and someone else feels like this is whimsical, that seems solid. Let's keep doing it. Let's keep trying to make our life as happy and relaxed as possible, specifically in this political climate. And mind you, I know I've said this in the past on this podcast and on my other podcast, Femme Tell All. I'm a very politically driven person. Now, some of my work is political adjacent, my work outside of the podcast. And as much as I love talking about it all the time, and I always want to be involved and informed, sometimes we need respite. And I want this to be a place, again, in a corner of the internet that you feel safe coming to, and that you know that like our ideals, our morality is on the same page. And there are going to be talks about that from time to time. But for the most part, we're just trying to enjoy the life that we have while we're living. So her first point that she makes is be more seasonal in life in general. Girl, I love her already. I went, say less, because and people are probably laughing because that sounds ridiculous, but I'm being serious. I read that and I was like, I try to be seasonal with my entire life. Like genuinely like hairstyles, slick back bun. I feel like it would be appropriate for summer as well and spring, but like I've been really leaning into it in the winter. I'm like, I don't want to wash my hair all the time and like dry out my skin in the hot shower. Why don't I skip a hair wash day? Done. Slick back bun. Thank you. But even like she speaks about like changing out flowers in her house. She talks about like specific like plateware and cutlery and stuff like that she can keep, like tablecloths, everyday things that she can swap out seasonally. And I already do that for the holidays. Like I have little boxes of like my Halloween decor. Most people do. I'm not saying I invented the wheel here, but like I have some stuff for Valentine's Day, for St. Patty's Day, for Christmas, because those are the commercialized holidays that I choose to celebrate. And it's just so fun. I thought that was such a great start, because it's like you can do this, and it makes it less wasteful and consumery as well. Like if you tend to use like produce and products and things like that are supposed to be used in the wintertime, in the cold, and in these environments, and you're not just like cycling them out every season. I'm not promoting that, and neither is she. But it's like getting quality things, and again, quality produce, quality experiences that you can do that are seasonal. It helps the economy. Let's keep it going. I love it. That was the first thing. Second thing she says is walking more and taking the long way home. I've actually been doing this, funny enough, just like challenging myself. I know I've told you all about me challenging myself with recipes in the past, and that just being like a funny thing that I'm a glutton for punishment. But this one is a specific one that like I've been like parking farther, so I have to walk to places. And I know that seems silly and like trivial, but genuinely taking the stairs, taking the long walk. I'm walking around a campus a lot now because I'm working in higher ed at a beautiful campus, and I'm putting in the steps. And honestly, it feels amazing to be walking as much, because my old job, I didn't get to walk that much. It was pretty sedentary. I was stationary and sitting a lot of it. So to have the luxury to walk, do it. So if you can take the long way home, I totally agree with her. I think that's great. Third is host people often. And first of all, I can't agree more. I love hosting, but it's funny, as I've now moved in with my partner, and we are now like hosting his friends a lot and my friends a lot. And there's a point where I love it. And there's nothing more than that I love than like the sound of laughter and the sound of a warm home, and people engaging, and like me being able to show people like, again, like snacks that I'm eating, or like I was able to give like seasonal citrus that I had from my parents' house to my friends the other day. I like brought a whole bag of it, and I was like, please take grapefruit zone. Like that kind of community is something that I'm deeply striving for. And as you listened probably to my Galentine's episode, I think I have it. And I'm just trying to condition it more, and make sure my community feels appreciated, and again, get to that. But hosting people can be such a task, and it feels like, like I even start doubting myself of like, is my house clean enough? Is it like warm enough? Are there enough places to sit? Like people don't worry about that. When I go to people's homes, I'm constantly like so touched by them opening up their home to me. And I've noticed that in the last couple months, where my house is, in my opinion, not where I want it to be, like decorated wise. Like we got a lot of organization done. We did do some like 75% decorating, but there's certain things that I want to add. And again, because I'm trying to be mindful of like spending too much money and buying things I don't need in the moment, I'm like, I will get a piece for that, but I will get it when like I stumble upon a good piece that's worth the money, that's worth the time, you know? So there's a couple things that are not done in my apartment right now. And, you know, I was like, oh God, they're going to judge me. And first of all, your community, if they're your community, won't do that. And second of all, it's been such a great like exposure therapy to just have people over and like it not be perfect, and still have such a great time, and realize that like it's not about having all the beautiful things out in the placemats and like that can be fun. And again, she said that for seasons, and I agree with her, but it's really about just like having people in your home and creating that safe space for people to come and enjoy and visit. Like now we have a couple of friends that know that they're not always in the area because we moved to a different area. So anytime they're on that side of town, I'm like, come over, I'll make you a matcha. Come, you can use our shower, you can use our bathroom, you can take a nap on our couch. Like we would love to have you. And I think it's just been such a Yeah, it's been such a rewarding thing. So I loved that she had said that. She said, she even quoted someone saying, being engaged is a way of doing life, a way of living and loving. It's about going to extremes and expressing the bright hope that life offers us, a hope that makes us brave and expels darkness with light. That's what I want my life to be all about, full of abandon, whimsy, and in love. Bob Goff from Love Does. So it's like that kind of, I know that quote doesn't necessarily correlate specifically to hosting, but I think just the through line of this entire article, which is like just engage, like actually buy in, stop being so cautious, stop for someone who is like a recovering perfectionist. And when I say recovering, I mean that lightly because it's still very much so in the room with us, but I'm like, just do it, just participate. And I think having people over and hosting is one way to do that. So, next one that she says, 4 is turn your kitchen into your favorite restaurant. This is where I was like, oh, are we going to become best friends? Am I going to have to contact you? Because genuinely, I'm like, I love to cook and I love recreating things that I love having. And sometimes you can't do it. And sometimes it's a total mess and a failure if you try to make something that's very, very difficult. But for the most part, I think you'd be surprised. And just trying to make a warm, delicious home cooked meal means so much. And if you can do that while hosting, double points. Love that. She said, read more fiction before bed, which I needed to hear because I am a nonfiction girly. And I like fiction just kind of takes you to, it's like a story, right? Like we were read stories growing up as kids. My dad used to tell me stories, like he would make them up on the fly. My dad used to tell stories called Swiss Family Bellissimo. And for the Bellissimo, and for the longest time, like truly until I was like 12, I thought that was about like this dreamland that my dad had done for us where like we landed on an island and like we were stranded and we had like I had a pet jaguar and it was like so cute. It was such a cute story that my dad would tell me. And then I found out that he was like just deriving it from Swiss Family Robinson and that was like a very established story and I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, that feels less special now." And now with age, I'm like, that's so sweet that he adapted that. But yeah, like genuinely those kinds of fictitious, fun, whimsical stories I think just relax us naturally because sometimes when I'm reading the nonfiction, even though I want to and I'm really intrigued by it, I start getting ideas and I start like wanting to hone in on things and I'm looking up other things. Fiction doesn't do that for me and I think for the majority of people like you just need to like kind of shut off your brain, enjoy, entertain yourself with a good book and yeah, I think it will make your life a little more whimsical. I need to take that advice. Number 6 is taking physical books and journals with you wherever you go. I love this because again, I just got a Kindle this year. I know I can't shut up about it. And my whole excuse, and I know she says physical, but I'm gonna include Kindles in this. But my whole excuse before of not having a book on me was like, oh, it's too heavy. There's too much. La, 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 la. And honestly, with a Kindle or like even with my journal, I usually have my journal or my planner on me when I'm going around to meetings and stuff like that. I have my laptop, my journal, and now I'm adding the Kindle to the mix, hopefully, if I keep not forgetting it at home. But those kinds of things, when I do have my Kindle and the couple of times I've brought it, I'm like, I don't have to just scroll on my phone. I can actually engage in a book that I'm trying to read. And I think that's what she even says it like instead of reaching for my phone to scroll, it like makes my day feel so much better at the end of the day because I invested in something real and tangible. And so I think that totally applies for both journals and books and Kindles. Number 7, I thought this was so lovely. She said, become more obsessed with being a good friend than finding one. And I was like, oof, that's confronting in a really positive way. I think like she lists some ways of like tips for strengthening the friendship muscle, so to speak. She says, offer encouragement without expecting anything in return. Be present when they invite you to things. Be excited for them. Listen and remember what they share. Do something tangible, thoughtful, a random message, a small gift, a surprise coffee drop off. Be fair in what you expect from a friendship. They won't meet your every emotional need, answer immediately, always agree with you, or be available exactly when you want them to be, and that's okay. Like, I think she just really hit it on the head with this. Like, and she says, this was my favorite point, that she said, play, make art, sketch, cook a meal, play actual games, go on little quests, finding the perfect shoes or random ingredients together, watch movies, share ideas, assemble furniture. I've done all of those things with my friends, and those are truly, when I look back, are like my fondest memories. And I love, like, just, again, I think being a theater kid, TM, I've always obviously loved the art of, like, playfulness and, like, imagination. And I think, like, when I reflect on the kinds of friends that I love spending the most time with, specifically nowadays, it's the people that I can really, like, let loose and be silly and obnoxious and, like, just wild. And it's just so fun. Like, act as if you have no inhibitions. And I'm not saying, like, that means dancing on tables. It could. I'm not opposed to it. I think you should do that if that's something that's your calling, but more in the sense of, like, just being silly and sending, like, I can't tell you how many times I've sent voice memos of me just doing, like, straight up voices to my friends. And honestly, they're real ones for listening to those 7-minute voicemails or voice messages. And then also, just engaging and playing back and having fun. Number 8 is turn your kitchen into your favorite cafe. Done. We know that my matcha is, like, the best on the east side. I'll claim that. But I'm trying to dip more into expanding my ability with matcha, and something that I'm thinking about doing on Substack actually is and just creating content on, like, any of the social media video platforms as well. I'm wanting to do a new series that I'm developing, which is called, I don't actually have a title for it, but it is Music Inspired Matchas. That's probably going to be the title. I might play with it and try and make it more thematic to my slice of life. But yeah, it's the concept is matchas that are inspired by a song or, like, a type of music, usually a specific song. And I'm really excited about it. I already have over 25 that I had thought of that I was like, oh, I love this song and it makes me think of this. It was like I was having my Remy Ratatouille moment where I'm like, ooh, and it's like the jazz is playing and he has the strawberry and the cheese and he's trying it for the first time. Like, I genuinely am so moved by music. I'm so moved by food, specifically so moved by matcha as a drink. And I just was like, I want to have fun with it. It's something playful. And I really enjoy, like, recipe developing and matcha, and music. So it feels like a match made in heaven. So I'm going to be doing that, and look out for that soon. Number 9, talk to strangers on occasion. Don't forget to acknowledge other people and their journeys while you're on your way. I love that. I'm such a huge fan of, like, being in a line and chatting it up with the person next to you. Huge fan. I also have one of those faces that people just, like, talk to me in public. I know some people have that and, like, hate that feature about themselves. So, like, why are people chatting at me? I genuinely love it. I'm like, please tell me your life story. I'd love to talk to you. Like, every time my mom would find me, my brother would find me, we're out at, like, a concert, at a venue, at a grocery store, something like that. And then we split apart and we come back. And my partner does this too. He's like, were you just talking to this person? I'm like, yeah, Jerry was telling me about his wife. She's in surgery. It's bad, but they're feeling hopeful. And I'm being serious. Like, that happens everywhere. And I highly, highly suggest it, because it just, again, adds a sense of humanity that I'm always genuinely tickled by. And it gives me some grounding, because I'm like, I'm not the only person. I'm not the main character in this story. Like, people are constantly loving and losing and failing and winning and all these amazing, messy things that make up life. And, like, honor that and, like, see someone else other than yourself in that moment. So that's great. Number 10 is implementing color into your spaces. You know your girl loves color. You know I love, like, my slice of life is the yellow and the burgundy. You know it. Also, my whole house, or I guess my house, is blues, greens, earthy tones, deliciousness. My studio is like orange, yellows, reds, pinks. Like it is warm and cozy in here. And again, vibes. Like I love all the colors of the rainbow and I actually am attracted to all of them. So that's why I was like, okay, my house is going to be one color palette. My studio is going to be another. I have the luxury of having two places to decorate, but add some color. I think we've been in the beige long enough. You can still have neutral bases like this, but like add some color. I'm in almost all beige right now, so she's a hypocrite. But I genuinely mean that. I think implementing color into your space is great. And then number 11 is she said implementing colors into your clothes, which I love. I'm currently on the journey with my sister. We have not discovered fully yet which season we are, back to seasonal number 1, but what season our color palette is and what works best for you. I want to take it with a grain of salt, but like I do also want to know what's most complimentary on me. And I've been just like really exploring with colors that I genuinely love wearing. And this burgundy color that is my slice of life it's on my nails. I'm like holding up my hand right now. Is truly one of my new favorite colors. I like have a purse. I have heels now. I have my nails. And I'm telling you, I've gotten these were the craziest nails I've ever done. That just shows how like non-whimsical I am when it comes to nail art. I did polka dots. And I'm telling you, I've gotten over 25 compliments. Friends, family, strangers, instructors, like everyone from different backgrounds. I keep getting stopped for my nails, and it's the cutest thing because it's just polka dots. Just a fun little polka dot. And at the end of the day, I'm like, that was very whimsy of me. I was very brave for getting some nail art, which I know some incredible people and women that have fun, like eclectic, eccentric nail art. And I always am like in awe of it. But yeah, this was a way of me implementing colors into my clothes and to my body that I've loved. And it's like, I'm usually a neutral nail girl and I may be going back. So don't be mad at me if I go back to neutral for a little because your girl might need that. But I will be implementing it in my wardrobe. And that's the facts, okay? Number 12, have a signature scent. Did the girl listen to my 30 chic things turning 30? Maybe. I think her name's Jenna. What's her name? Jenna? Let's go back. I'm acting like she's friends. Jenna, did you listen? Did you watch? Because I'm also not the only person that said this on the internet, but I did say it. I did say it, and I totally agree with her. You need a scent. You need some, it's like, again, it just evokes like a feeling when people see you or smell you, or, run into you. It's like you're giving them an energy, and scent is such a powerful and palatable, like, and palpable, all the P's, scent or like a sense, excuse me. And I think that just like having a cute signature scent that you love and even doing that seasonally, which I've said, and again, 30 chic things, do it, enjoy it, feel good in it. It makes you feel good. You smell good, other people, and then people like think of you when they smell that. It's just a wonderful thing. Number 13, learn to reframe things you don't really like to do, but you need to do. Let me tell you, this is such a helpful thing. She said, like, an example is turn your home workout corner into your very own Pilates studio. Add a mirror, a candle, a cute towel, and a playlist you love. She said, make your pantry feel like the back of house out of charming cafe. Label things, use baskets, make grabbing ingredients feel like a curated experience. I cannot not express enough how much I agree with her. I think like I'm also an aesthetics girl. So like making something feel fun or like making it more beautiful or more aesthetic or more like turning it into a game, gamifying things. Like if you're like, ooh, how fast can I do my night skincare routine? That one truly would help me because I take way too fucking long washing my goddamn face and putting on all my things. Let's start a timer. Let's do it in less than 10 minutes. Chop, chop. Let's see if you can do it. That kind of thing would really help. And I think actually save me time. So I might try that and we'll report back because I really need to wrap up that skincare routine. Number 14, being more open to trying new foods. couldn't agree more. I feel like the more I explore new cuisines, like the more I'm inspired to make more food, different like tastes and profiles and like yeah, again, aromatic things that like I don't usually incorporate into my own food, but like if you have it at a Thai restaurant, an Ethiopian restaurant, a like I don't know, Armenian restaurant. Like there's so many out there specifically in LA that you can just try so many different cuisines. Highly recommend and you'll be astonished. And I still like I feel like Korean food always has my heart and has had my heart for like the last decade. But I'm always open to finding new like fusions too. Like there's so many fusion restaurants now, which is so fun. And I think that's so great. And I've been on I love a dessert, I love a baked good. My newest and latest obsession is boba on top of soft serve, which there's a place near me that does that. And like I've always loved boba drinks. I've loved boba drinks since I was like late teen or early teens, like late 10, like the 10 through 12 situation. My sister had introduced me to boba because that was like when it first started like popping off in America. So I've loved boba since then, but like having it on soft serve, like a Thai tea soft serve with boba on top, try it. And I still stand by that mango sticky rice is by far one of the best desserts on the planet. So if you haven't tried that, also try that. So next, number 15, develop house clothes that still feel a little more put together. I aim for this all the time because I just want to be in a baggy t-shirt and sweats. And now I've gotten more like matching sets that feel comfortable that wouldn't be inappropriate if someone like not like if a neighbor knocked on my door or one of my friends that I've been vehemently encouraging to come and visit me. Like if they come by and I'm awry with a big old t-shirt with toothpaste stains on it and sweats on, not my best look. They'd totally be fine with it because they're my friends and they're my community. But could we get a house clothes that we feel better with, especially when we work from home? Some of us work from home still part-time. And yeah, having something that you're comfortable in, that you can wear in your house and outside if you need, but like would be comfortable in your home and you're not wearing like a full suit or dress or situation. I think that's something that you can really add some joy and whimsy to your life. She said 16, get really good at games. She said some games. She said, I grabbed a $3 crossword book from Walgreens before we hit the beach, and I ended up just answering like all of it with my friends. And I think that's just so cute. Like she said, if you can't convince everyone to play mermaids, this is a great alternative, which is that's whimsy right there, playing mermaids. But yeah, I think just like I know I brought up Stardew earlier, finding fun games that like are enjoyable and like get you again off our phone, off our laptops, out from outside of the couch, like not watching TV. More things like that are gonna add like I think we do love watching movies, we love watching TV, and I'm not saying cut it out completely, but I think having a variation is so beneficial. I've been on a Monopoly kick too with my family, so I highly highly recommend. 17, learn to make a great cup of tea. I couldn't agree more. Maybe start with matcha. That's a quite difficult one, but if you're crazy and you want to do it, I think you should. Also, just like she said, my rising sun and my nightcap, a perfect cup of tea. But it's true. Like, I think if you have a cup of tea that you can perfect, or just like a warm bevy, like we said, hot cocoa is in the mix for me. And not only is that good for you, it's like a ceremony that you can do for yourself and self-care that you can show for yourself. But also, this is when you have people over to host, you offer them a warm cup of tea. It goes a long way. It really does. I always am so touched when someone offers me a cup of tea. Number 18, send cards in the mail. I love this one. It's so sweet. I need to do it more. I only do it when I go on like bigger vacations. I did it the last like bigger vacation I did. I plan on doing it for my vacations this year because I need to just like force myself to do it. I have been so much better with thank you notes, which was a huge goal of mine last year. and I'm still trying to keep up with it. But like giving thank you notes when people do something nice for you, they've given you a gift, done something like that, like that's a huge thing that I'm trying to continue promoting. So this is like another version of it. And my really dear friend Noah does this. She sends postcards every time she's traveling. And it's the cutest. It's just like a couple of sentences like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm thinking about you because of this, this, and this. Love you. See you soon." And it's just so sweet. I have like over 16, I want to say, that she sent me that I have all saved. And they're really treasured memories for me. And I used to keep them all over my fridge before I moved. I'm gonna find a new place to store them slash display them. But yeah, I just find it so lovely, and I think sending cards in the mail is a great way to keep it whimsical. 19, learn to consume, chew on, and process different art forms, which is such a good point. And I feel like we don't bring this up a lot because, again, we stick to the things that we love. And like, whether that be movies, TV, video games, I think just like music, I think watching new things and one, or just, I guess, consuming new things, going to a museum, going to an art fair, going to a show. I saw live theater the other day because my friend Veronica was in a play. And I haven't done that in so long. I majored in musical theater. I haven't seen a live play in a couple months. And I was like, this was so nice to see live theater and live performers. And I saw stand up. There was a stand up comedian in it. And that was so fun. But she mentions in this, like watching foreign films and keeping a log, which I thought was such a sweet idea to do. I know on my last solo episode for the pod, I mentioned that I'm learning Spanish, or I'm trying to learn Spanish and trying to practice more with my friends. And one of my friends, a couple of my friends actually, Maka, had recommended some Spanish films to me, and I haven't watched them yet. But I'm planning on it, and I'm really excited about it. Some foreign films. And then my friend Ariana and Alessia were already doing like a get together every Wednesday, watch TV show together. And we decided, because both myself and Alessia are trying to learn Spanish, we decided to watch a Spanish show. So we started watching Like Water for Chocolate, and it is so good. And we're watching it with the English subtitles. Obviously, we're watching it in the original language with the original actors. And I'm telling you, I'm hooked. Season 2 is out. We're about to start it this week. I am foaming at the mouth. And it's like, I don't know if I would have been exposed to this show, even though it's popular. It's on HBO. Again, because it's like a Spanish show, I don't know how much it would have like come up on my algorithm or whatnot. And so like, even just that as a small example, like I fell in love with it. It's also helping me with my Spanish, and it's also exposing me to like culture and history that like, this specific piece is like on a historical pieces where it's like loosely based on historical events. I think it's just so wonderful, and I highly recommend it. I'm loving it. And last but not least, her 20th point, I should say, is document by journaling. And she says, like, what have you outgrown recently, emotionally, creatively, physically? What proof do you have that it no longer like fits you or exists? She said, list 3 places in your life that feel thawed. What used to feel frozen there? I was like, wow, these are some really great. She gave over 10 things that you could ponder on and journal about. And I just think it's so wonderful because, again, when you journal, you open up your mind. I used to have a creative writing class, or it was technically more of I had creative writing, and I took this surrealism class in college that our professor would just make us free write for the first 10 minutes of class. And I know that we would always be so annoyed with it. I remember like most of my friends would be like, oh, God damn it. Like, and he even was like, just, you can write blah, 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 blah for 10 minutes if you want. He's like, you don't have to write anything of substance, just like write. And I'll be damned, the man was right. Like, as soon as, even if you were like, blah, 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 I hate writing, I don't want to do this free write, you would get into a flow and you were like, well, I don't want to write this because I had my lunch today and my lunch was kind of burnt. And, la, la, la. And you get into this, like, it just really opens you up. I've always loved free writing. Journaling is, akin to that. I think it's just such a useful and helpful way to like not only reflect on things that you've felt in the past, maybe work out some issues that you're going through, express your thoughts and feelings. Maybe you've been like scared or like you're kind of touching on them. You haven't done like a full realization. If you have therapy, you can bring these things to therapy. Like it's so helpful. And even I would even like argue that journaling can be in conjunction with like agenda planning and things like that. Like I know that that's a little more type A, a little more meticulous organizing, but I'm serious. I have so many breakthroughs when I'm doing my like going through my journaling and my planning. And then I'll be like, my agenda, I'm like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Oh, what do I want to do? Like, oh, wow, I'm seeing that my week is filling up like this, or I'm not working out enough, or I am working out too much and I need to like certain things pop up for you when you're physically writing. I love a Google Calendar. I love that. But like I have that and I have my physical because I end up just feel like opening up myself to new ideas and new realizations when I'm physically writing. So journaling, agendaing, all the things. I've seen people with junk journals. They're so cute with the like different fun stickers and things like that glued into them. They're beautiful. They're so creative. Couldn't love them more. So I loved her list, Jenna O'Brien. I love you. Shout out, girl. We should be friends. I will be tagging you and sending you this. So hopefully it's complimentary and that you don't think I'm just like ripping you off because I genuinely, I just was so moved by a very attainable, tangible list like this. So that's what I'm trying to bring. I'm trying to bring more Substack into the pod. I'm doing this new series with the matcha and the music inspired matcha and just more recipes, more developing recipes, more utilizing this beautiful and gorgeous and cozy studio. I can't wait to bring you guys in really to like see all the corners of it and like the things that make it homey and comfortable. And I'm just really excited that season 2 has kicked off. Thank you all for listening, watching, liking, subscribing, all the things. Please continue to do so. If you don't already follow the accounts, please follow or subscribe. Please like, comment, share. Anything helps. And I hope you all get to have a warm, delicious bevy soon. I'll see you soon.